Hello there, it's Terry Cream here and welcome to my studio. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to review the shoot that we did in my second workshop. If you recall, or if you looked at my blog, you would have seen that I was intending to shoot a bottle of shampoo. Actually, this is a bottle of shampoo. Let me just drag it on to the screen so you can see. That's what I was intending to shoot, but on reflection I actually thought that it's really quite simple, it's quite basic, it's just one item, and to light it was quite easy to do. I think I did that probably in about 15 or 20 minutes. So I thought, well, that's no good, there's not much of a challenge for the students. So I went to the local supermarket and purchased a bunch of products. They're all branded, all the same name, CN or Cyan, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. But these products have got different shapes to them, lots of curvature in here, different colours, different textures to the actual plastics that they're made of. And I thought, well, this is going to be a lot more of a challenge, and I think, you know, if we're going to do a workshop, let's have some fun with it. So out went the shampoo. We got rid of that and we photographed this, and this is the actual finished product. It's had a little bit of Photoshop done to it, a bit of cleaning, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Right, so let's go right to the beginning. Here we are. Right, this is where we started. Quite basic, a shooting table, no lighting or anything else around it. That shooting table is nothing more than a tripod, a piece of plywood. I screwed the quick release plate onto the back of the plywood so you can easily attach it to the tripod. I think it's a Manfrotto tripod. And then on top of that, I just used a bit of ordinary black glossy plexiglass. So that's it. That's our basic shooting table. Dead simple, and we use it for all sorts of things, and it's a great way to shoot products. So scrolling down, our backdrop is basically a diffuser panel. I've hung it up there on a tripod, and you can see that the reflection of that diffuser panel is showing in the shooting table, and that's exactly what we're looking for, because later on we're going to shoot light onto that background and some of that will be reflected into the table. So there we are, quite simple. From there we introduced our products. Now we had quite a bit of fun with this, and we played around with it. We arranged them and then rearranged them, took it all down, started again, moved them about. We tried all different variations, and it's really important that you do this, because when you're going to do a product shoot like this, you need to have a look. You need to compose it and get a nice composition so that you can get the best from what you've got there. And because of the different shapes and colours, it was not straightforward, so it was quite a challenge, but we arrived there in the end and we came up with this layout which seemed to work quite nicely. There were slight adjustments along the way, but this is pretty much how we ended up. So moving on down to our next image. Right, yes, now this is where we actually introduce our blue background, and quite simply all we did was we put a blue gel onto a strobe. There's a honeycomb grid on that strobe. I think it's 10%, I'm not sure. And then we aimed that at the top of the background there. And what that did, it actually created a very slight gradient there. You can just see the gradient. You can play around with this. I mean, we could have changed this around, moved it back, we could have moved the light up a bit or down a bit. Anything really. I mean, it's limitless. We've got to change the colour of the gel. Just to get whatever kind of effect we want to get on the background. We're not even considering the products at this stage. We just, all we're interested in achieving is that background. So that's how that's done. With the background pretty much sorted, we now needed to move on to light the products themselves, the stars of the show. Now we did that with a strip box. Now this strip box here, we started off with it in front of the products. It was horizontal, slightly in front and slightly down and pointed upwards towards the products. It was okay, but there's some really quite harsh highlights on the blue bottle, especially right in the middle here, so we could hardly see the writing on the label. So we jigged around, we moved this about, we played quite a long time with this. By looking through the viewfinder on the camera and moving this light, we can actually see, I mean, everything was changing on here, we could actually see what we were going to get. And by actually angling it across and to the side of the products with a slight angle on it, we managed to achieve these really nice and strong highlights on the bottles, which we quite like. So we thought, well, okay, we're going to keep those. But we actually lost all the definition in the product itself. We were only getting the highlights, all the rest of it sort of fell into darkness. So we needed to address that. But we settled with our highlights, we were happy with that. So moving down, what we did is we got a reflector onto a tripod. We aimed this into the front of the products. I've got another strobe over here. Again, it's got a grid on. I think it's 10% again. And we fired that into the reflector, which bounced the light into our products. And it gave us the feel light that we needed to make our products really pop out. It also gave us some really nice gradients down here, down the side here, and we got a bit down here, and it just brightened up this area in general, which was really quite dark. So that's pretty much the end result, and that is the end product. Okay, so that's it. If you'd like to find out more about my workshops or find out more about what I do in studio, if you'd like to find out more about some of the tutorials that I'm thinking about doing in the future, you can contact me. My details are down here below me. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I also look forward to doing more of these in the future and speaking to you again soon. Goodbye now.